So there was this news around that Reddit has signed a $60 million deal with a large AI company. It's a content licensing deal where the AI company can use all of Reddit content to train their models and improve their models. And Reddit has a very rich source of content, right? Because you have, these are like proper conversations that are happening between people, which is the base of all these transformers models anyway, because they are conversational models actually. And the news broke a couple of days back, and yesterday I think the news came out that Reddit is actually signing up with Google for this Google Gemini team will use Reddit's data now, all of Reddit's data. It's a $60 million annual contract that Reddit has signed. And what's weird is I mean, Sam Altman owns 8.7% of Reddit. Reddit is going IPO in some time, and so Reddit has to file who their shareholders are. And apparently, between Class A and Class B put together, Sam Altman has about 8.7%, which is worth $437 million. Okay. So Sam Altman does not need salary obviously from OpenAI because like he has his wealth like sorted anyway. But what was curious was, look, if he has 8.7% of a company which sits on a lot of content, and that company is signing up with your competitor to provide data for training, I mean, all this is like a little vague. It's funny, it's vague, but long story short, uh, Google Gemini models now have a really good content to kind of work on, to be honest. So Reddit is a fantastic content. So hopefully Gemini continues to improve.
But Shiva, I have one, like, while obviously this whole space, as we just discussed, right, is very new, experimental. But what really
Yeah.
excites me about the space today is like one example that you've just given, like Reddit working with, or probably Gemini working with Reddit, right, where there's competitive interests. We've spoken about how Microsoft is consuming ChatGPT, but then it also has its own offerings on ChatGPT, which still competes with ChatGPT to a certain extent, right? Like the enterprise versus what Copilot offers, right? Perplexity consumes now Gemini, right? But then Perplexity poses itself as a competition to Google as well, right? So what's very interesting
Yeah.
about this space is that there's competition, there's collaboration happening in the same space, and where it actually heads. It's a very good update, obviously, because I think we'll reach a space where all this will start emerging to a certain extent, where we'll have certain winners in the play as we start settling things down, right? But the one perspective I do have is, Shiva, I don't think so Google anyways had a dearth of data, right? Even if we don't consider the search indexing, they had YouTube data, right? I really don't think there's any other platform that probably would have data to the extent that you have in
No.
YouTube videos, right?
Yeah, but no, but the one point on YouTube is, I mean, so in the recent All In Pod, David Freeberg made a fantastic point, right? So YouTube apparently gets almost 2 petabytes of data per day uploaded, new content uploaded, right? Media, images, videos, etc. But why Reddit is slightly different is the same advantage that Grok AI of Twitter has, XAI has, which is conversational in nature. YouTube data is not conversational necessarily, comparatively. Compared to the Reddit, see, Reddit is purely conversational. When it comes to handling YouTube data, you'll have to clean the data first to extract the conversation part of it and then use it for training. But when it comes to Twitter and Reddit, 90% of the data is conversational, or more than 90% is conversational by nature, which is what these models want, because these models are trying to crack the reasoning part, the conversation. See, if you have so much data, conversational data available, you will crack reasoning automatically. That is how the thing works. How? Imagine if I ask you, hey Rishabh, how are you? And you respond back, I'm doing good, blah, blah, blah. And I ask you a further question, you answer further question, you answer back. So imagine we do a 50 questions like Q&A or 50 sets of Q&As. Now, all the transformer models does is they understand, they keep everything in memory. Now, tomorrow when another person asks, hey Rishabh, how are you? Imagine if the bot is about to answer, it'll just look at all of Rishabh's responses and it will pick the right response actually. So that is how training works. When we say reasoning, it's not actually thinking. It is trying to find what is the most appropriate response to this question based on all the history data that it has. So given that logic, the conversational data has a higher quality for and higher usage for LLMs compared to non-conversational data like YouTube, like textbooks, etc. So that is why, while YouTube is still there, my point is Twitter and Reddit have like the edge compared to YouTube. And Apple sitting on iMessage data, which is on iCloud, crazy. Apple has crazy data sitting with them. Android as well. Facebook, imagine Facebook, the amount of conversation that Facebook has in comments, WhatsApp data. I mean, WhatsApp is like even more crazy. So that is the real gem compared to the long form content like YouTube videos, podcasts, etc. So yeah. So Rishabh, that's my take at
Understood.
least, and
No, I
try
agree on the
try to explain how
conversational.
the
Yeah.
transformers work.
I
Yeah.
agree on the conversational part, right? Because you have the whole decision making structure given to the the model. But I still feel probably I think data is not a problem for Google. That's not the problem that they're trying to solve. But I agree on the conversational part, sure.
But tell me something. I will probably take another minute here. Tell me where Google has this kind of data that Reddit or a Twitter or an iMessage or a WhatsApp or a Facebook comment section has.
See, I would still go
I
with
mean, you need to think about it.
I mean, if we combine all this, right, and I probably put YouTube at one place, right, you got such massive interviews data, right? You've got such massive TEDx data, you've got such massive
Yeah.
podcast data, right? Again, what I'm trying to highlight, Shiva, is that the depth of data that you probably get in these videos, right? While I totally agree with you on the conversational piece, right? Keeping that aside, but the depth of data, information, and legitimate data, right? What we're also missing is that probably some of these platforms do not have legitimate data. A lot of, if you really look at it, a lot, keeping Reddit aside, but keeping your WhatsApp conversations, etc., would be mostly noise, right? A lot of this data would be mostly noise, but the data that you actually have on YouTube through the channel program, through partnerships and so on, it's all legitimate data, right? So again, Google has a lot of data set, right? I know signing a partnership with Reddit adds to that, but if data was the problem for Google till now, I don't think so. Or data was ever a problem for these guys if they were slow in adopting LLMs right now.
But this also kind of gives you an idea, gives you a thought, which is why Google with so much data has to buy Reddit data, which means the conversational quality is data is not there with Google because Google miserably failed in the instant message category.
Yes,
They could not they launched Google Duo and stuff, but
that
unfortunately
was
nothing worked out for them. Exactly right. I mean, I still to date think why couldn't Google launch a WhatsApp competitor? Why didn't they even attempt launching a WhatsApp competitor?
correct.
There is Telegram. Telegram became very popular as a second as an alternate.
We
Google could
just
have
WeChat.
definitely launched.